I wasn't shocked, Sean, because I've had people contacting me with concerns that they weren't getting seen within the 14-day window. I just think it's absolutely appalling that people are not going to possibly not get the best outcomes, and because that's the whole point of a 14-day pathway for a cancer diagnosis. So.
And the two types of cancer that have the lowest percentage of being seen within that window are also the two most common. Is that a particular concern in itself?
It is, and certainly I know some of the charities, and certainly the breast cancer charity have worked really closely, and I know that they do offer to help with the services, and we did have that window where there was additional clinics, etc., to try and get the waiting lists down. And I heard the news item that they're doing that again, which is fantastic. But I'm disappointed that we've got into that situation. And my understanding is that there wasn't a locum brought in to cover one of the doctors from the clinic, and I think that is where it's failed. We should be making sure we've got locums who can cover for any of these absences.
We touched there on locums. Are extra clinics enough as a short-term fix, or do they need to look at more to get these lists down?
Well, certainly, I was quite shocked really that the health minister said that there'd been an increased demand in the service. Certainly from the figures that I've had over the last couple of years, I think I felt that was a very uncaring comment, to be quite honest. If there's demand, we should be providing the care and the services that the people need. But to get these waiting lists down, I'm sure they're the professionals. They'll know the best way to get it down. I was shocked at this new CEO, and I have arranged to meet with her, that she was looking for more money. The money's been provided to provide these services. The increase in demand was I think it was just over 100 extra patients. I'm not sure money's always the solution. We need to be looking at what's actually going on and making sure we're providing the services direct to the patient, because that's who matters most.
What does this do to the confidence of patients when they're newly diagnosed and they hear that there's a chance they won't be seen within 14 days and waiting lists are as they are at the moment?
As you know, Sean, I've been a cancer patient myself during my time as an MHK, and it's traumatic. Every day you think, when will I get that appointment? You're then waiting for results, and it's very anxious time. And I think if you knew walking into that room and you're going to get a cancer diagnosis that within 2 weeks something was happening, I think it would give a bit more assurance to the individual patient. I am aware of people that have been waiting 6 weeks for that first consultation. That's not good enough.
Given that there has been an increase in referrals, as you alluded to there, over the last year, I think it is, as you say, just over 100, how important is it that this is dealt with as soon as possible?
It should be priority for the new Manx care. I feel like everything's now becoming not COVID problem, it's becoming a Manx care problem, which it is. They're the new management. I would hope it's at the top of their priorities, as it's a pathway, and it's the guidelines. Best chances and outcomes for the patients is 14 days.
Given that we are now in this phase of dealing with COVID as well, where we are living with COVID rather than trying to eliminate it, how important is it going forward that if there is community spread on the island again, that these services aren't just stopped, there is a way to continue to deal with cancer and COVID?
Yeah, I think obviously this last lockdown they did carry on services and diagnostic services, and I know initially at the outbreak it was nobody knew, it was new to everybody, but certainly listening to what's happened in the UK, they did seem to carry on their cancer services, and certainly we didn't on the first outbreak. Our numbers of cases has not actually been high on the island. I'm concerned that we've had far higher cancer cases that haven't been dealt with.
When I spoke to the Manx Breast Cancer Support Group a couple of days ago, they alluded to lack of staffing being a big issue, particularly for breast care. Does recruitment for health care generally need looking at?
I think it does. I've always been, obviously I worked in the healthcare system in my previous career, and I do think that we need to be be looking at how we're going to recruit people. And I'm concerned, will people come to the Isle of Man if we've got waiting lists and people can't be seen in recommended pathways? It is a concern. I understand some of the staff will have been relocated off to swabbing teams and that. I've heard the Minister say that many times. However, I'm also aware that many people were retired and come back to help with that and on the bank. So I just think the focus needs to be the resources in the right place for the best outcomes for cancer patients.
I know this isn't the first time I've spoken to you about waiting lists. You've asked a few times over the last 4.5 years or so about this issue. Has it been given high enough priority?
I don't believe so, no.